This is a weird video. This is like my love letter to Turner South. Yeah, this will probably be the only Turner South fan video that will ever show up on YouTube. Though you can see a lot of the Turner South promos, like the little bumpers that they would show Turner during on the channel. There was this post house, this post production facility, and they're on YouTube, and you can see them. But I mean, okay, you're just watching it. This came up because I was on YouTube and I was watching this TV movie, This House Possessed, and there were all these little bugs from Turner South on it, and I was like, whoa! The Turner South bug, it's that logo, it's that that logo that's over there. It's the most annoying bug. It's like a road sign, but it's like or like some kind of obnoxious early 2000s like bumper sticker. It's annoying. So and by the way, I'm doing a Turner South video. I never watched the channel. I never had the channel. Turner South was a television channel that was started in 1999 by the Turner Broadcasting Group, the people behind TNT and TBS and of course CNN. Ted Turner. Turner South was supposed to be like Southern Fried. It was supposed to be like about Southern culture, Southern stuff. It was about sports, Southern music. They had these music programs, but they would also just show all of these like weird old TV movies. Some of them nobody else had shown them. It was TBS used to show them. So some of these stuff were on TBS, but this is like a few years out. TBS is like 80s, early 90s. Now, a lot of that stuff is going over to Turner South. And I remember in the early 2000s, I would have watched Turner South because there was a lot of buzz in the message boards and news groups. Hey, look at this new channel. What are they show? Look at the obscure, like never released before TV movies and stuff like This House Possessed. Or like the weird stuff that they're showing. Look at this stuff. But it was really an obscure network. It was really only broadcast a few stations, mainly in the Southeast. But I lived in the Southeast, and no, my cable provider did not provide it, and I was quite saddened because I was just, so the channel launched in 1999, and in the early 2000s there was a big shakeup. There was this thing in the air of doing these type of Southern Fried show. Spike came out. The Nashville Network was rebranded as Spike, the channel for men. And then now Spike has been rebranded the Paramount Network. So, this was the beginning of a lot of specialty channels. Instead of just like TBS, you would have like 50, instead of just one HBO, or HBO Showtime, the movie channel, Cinemax, you'd have like HBO 2, HBO 3, HBO this was the early 2000s. This was the beginning of this crap. And Turner South was kind of that, but you kind of tolerated it because they would just show such weird, obscure stuff on some of these channels, and all of the Encore networks, and oh man, Encore used to be my jam. Coming home, watching Encore, watching Famine in the Paradise or Sisters, on Encore. Whoa, that was great. TBS was such a weird channel. They had TBS Nightflix. TBS was like wall to wall, like obscure movies and not so obscure movies, the Bond films, Rollerball, all kinds of MGM stuff. And, but you know what? TBS, the movies always looked like crap. Did you always notice that? How like the video transfers were like, it felt like they were like 1982 video transfers for everything. TBS, the channel, all of the bonds, everything looked like absolute garbage. And so when I think about TBS now, and now it's TBS is trying to go, high level. They've got all these sitcoms. They're now a sitcom channel. That's what they've changed it to. They're sitcoms and Conan O'Brien. But when I think about TBS, it's like this Pavlovian reaction that I think the channel looks like garbage and is garbage. It's a weird thing. And I've never been able to quite shake it. The early years of TBS, of watching like, reruns of stuff like Lost in Space was mainly USA Network, and so but the Planet of the Apes films, all the stuff you used to see on TBS, they just looked like crap. I mean, the video transfers were just, they looked worse. And when you got into TNT, the video transfers, kind of looked a lot better. And TNT, Turner South was kind of like an extension of TNT. Turner South was like somewhere between TNT and TBS and TCM, but like with like vaguely southern. I mean, they'd had like southern cooking. Turner South would have like southern cooking shows and like sports, because people in the South like sports, I guess. I don't know. That's, okay. And they would have but a lot of them, their program was just blocks of movies like TBS. And obscure TV movies. But then they would show just like, I think stuff like, while I was looking at their programming block online, I was trying to go to archive.org, and you do a search, you can actually find the Turner South website with the programming listings and everything. I think I see Zabriskie Point, all kinds of like a blow up, like Michelangelo Antonioni films, like obscure stuff, it was like vaguely southern, sometimes okay, we'll just throw any kind of crap onto this. So it was like the early days of TNT, where they would show movies, but they were a little higher quality than TBS. Now, none of that, but there's not a modern movie channel that exists like this. I mean, there is some channels like Comet TV, like Antenna TV. They're coming up. Kazi. They're like local affiliates, or there is this channel that's just called Movies, and they're carrying on the TBS flame. They look like the movies that show on there often don't look very good, but they show obscure stuff like The Haunting of Julia. They're a great channel to just kind of veg out, and oftentimes you can get them on the basic channel, or you can get those over the air, I believe. I think Movies you can. But Turner South had a brief life. I mean, it was kind of born in 1999, and then kind of the early 2000s, the early years of the Spike and the Turner South and all these other type channels. And then in 2006, they were bought by Fox, and they were just dismantled, and they became Fox Sports Southeast. There it is. Fox, they became what they wanted to be, sports anyway. Because in the later years, they would play like WCW, and they would have all of the kind of the runoff of TNT's sports that would go to Turner South. Turner South. Oh wow! I was just thinking about them, getting very misty-eyed and nostalgic. So there it is, a network that you've probably never watched. You probably cannot. Well, you can see if there's like TV movies. You can see them on YouTube and stuff. You can watch the logos. You just queue up the logos. If you're a big logo watcher, like I actually am, I love watching old USA Network, TBS, TNT logos. I love the artistry and the creativity that went into those logos in the 80s and the 90s. And you see it, I mean, logos right now are so impressive. They're so digital, and they do all, like BBC is probably the leader of modern logos. Have you seen some of the BBC logos that they're zipping and colors, and, they've really taken advantage of it. US television has really taken a back seat. The logos are digital and great 3D models, but they're not as cool as the BBC or the logos of the 80s and 90s, like TNT and all that stuff, TBS. The little night flicks, remember the Lava Lamp, Turner South. Turner South. If I could turn back time and watch some Turner South, I'd be happy. Probably not. No. Well, hey, we've still got TNT, I guess. No, we don't. We still got TBS. Yeah. We still got KTBC movies. Yay! I don't know. I don't know what we have. We've got YouTube now. Whatever.